Hello and welcome, friends, to the Writer's Oracle, where we combine the art of storytelling with the mystic. And in today's video, I thought we would create a character using my favorite method of character creation with tarot and oracle. To make this more fun and entertaining for you and me, I decided to use a random generator, so that way I'm not sticking to my default favorite classes and races, I should say. So I will have that random wheel generator name listed down below, so you can find it on your own and use it if you wish. I will be using multiple decks in this video today, so I will be pointing out the names in case you're interested in purchasing them for yourself down below in a pinned comment. So definitely check down there or in the description box on the side, where I will have everything laid out for you guys. If you create a character from this video, please let me know what you came up with for your character in the comments below as well. I would definitely love to hear it. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Before we actually click the buttons to spin the wheels and everything, sound off in the comments and let me know what you think this class and character race is going to be. I personally am hoping for, I haven't done a bard class before, so that would be fun. And on this list, I do have Ghost Touch, so that would be a fun race to have. I've never played around with a ghosty kind of character, so let's see what we get. And click that button and see what we get. Let's go, Ghost Touched, and we got an orc. That's not bad. I've never written an orc character before, so this will be fun. Now let's move on over to the class list and see what we get. Pressing that button, let's go. And we got a rogue. You know what? I'm not mad. Rogue is my favorite class to use. I just like them broody. I don't know why. It's just fun for me to write. Now that we got that out of the way, let's head on over to the cards and see what the cards give us so we can create that character. I've written an orc character before. I thought it would be a good idea to brush up on the lore and the history of an orc to get a better understanding of what our character is going to be like, as I've never written an orc. And the resource that I will be using is danddwiki.com. And surprisingly, I didn't know there was more than one kind of orc. But for simplicity's sake in this video, we will be sticking with the common orc. These orcs are typically brown and green. They are also extremely warlike, and when not in war, they're probably the ones that are planning for war or instigating the war. So that's kind of an interesting thing when you look at our character who's an orc and a rogue. They're possibly not going to fit into society or their society, so they may want to venture out so that they can feel free to explore and live their life. These orcs are the ones that fall under the rule of survival of the fittest and are most likely going to subjugate potential enemies and control as many resources as possible. This behavior also does put them at odds with any other race around them, as they believe they are superior to them. Okay, so now that we have a brief understanding of what kind of character we're going to be creating, let's go ahead and shuffle the cards. For our rogue. So this deck right here is the Citadel Fantasy Oracle deck. It is an archetype deck, and it's by Fez Inkwright. I will be using this deck specifically for life influences and things going around in their community that would affect our character and the decisions that they would have made to get to the point that we have them at now. And I will only be drawing 2 cards. Anything more than that gets more convoluted and harder to work with because not everything is going to go together. One last good shuffle. We'll take the top 2 cards out of this. Okay. So our orc is or has some overthinking problems. They tend to focus on a lot of relationships. The relationships around them. They could come off as vulnerable and making them seem weak in their community, even though they probably had desires to be like that one deity, the one-eyed orc that always faced off against the elves. So there could be some sort of timidness that would not be seen in that kind of community with those orcs. And the relationships around them are probably a bit strained because of that. But I think with the taking action, at some point, they've had enough of whatever was going on and they took action to change it to allow themselves to be seen and heard. Now let's move on to the next deck, which is going to be The Dark Mirror by Laura Sava. This deck I use for character flaws and traits, whether they be minor or major character flaws and or traits. So let's shuffle these cards and see what we get. You know, I definitely do feel bad so far for this character, considering that they're part of the orc. Is it a clan or subsection of race? I don't know the words, but for the common orc, I feel bad for this character because this character probably did get the short end of the stick a lot from those around them, even though they were trying their hardest to fit in and blend the fact that they may be different than the rest. I do think, however, this character probably, when they meet the party that they've been adventuring with, would then help them realize who they truly are or what they truly want to do. So let's shuffle this one more time and see what we get. Black flower, fragrance, and sacrifice. So in terms of these two cards, what I see with this one is this one would be like a major sacrifice, or not major sacrifice. Yes, a sacrifice, but more of a major flaw, because I think once you sacrifice one thing, you continuously sacrifice other things, hiding and burying what you really and truly are or want to be behind the guise of what you are or what you are expected to be, I guess, if that makes any sense. And this card is like basically saying that the world is unfair or something is unfair. So you could say that these two, I think, would be major flaws or like a detrimental trait to them, because they are probably quick to sacrifice themselves, like the true thems, to the people around them to make them fit in to be part of the community. But they also think that everything is unfair and that despite how hard they're working, that nothing is ever going their way, and they might resent their community and the people around them because they have long forgotten who they truly are because of that sacrifice they've made to their community. So yeah, there is that. Now let's move on to the last deck to get the bulk of the information that we'll be needing. This one is the Heavenly Bloom Tarot deck by Noah Ikeda. And why do they make these cards so big? I can't shuffle this way. I need to find a new way. Let's see what the cards tell us. Oh, that was a horrible shuffle. God damn it. Is there any better way to shuffle cards than the bridge method? Jesus Christ almighty, my hands do not fit like this. Well, that was fun. Kind of shot out. We'll give this a few more shuffles. Let's see how this goes. Oop. Okay. So I don't like to pull too many cards because, like I said earlier, this does get convoluted and hard to put all the information together. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Star reversed, the Page of Wands. We'll start with those three for now and see what we have. Okay, so I think we can rearrange this just a little bit by moving these cards this way. The Star here is saying that there is a loss of hope, almost, that nothing will get better and that maybe they're going to be stuck in this self-sacrifice mode and that believe that everything is unfair and become bitter and angry at the world. However, I do see some kind of hope, that like an adventure or hope that will slowly but surely help them understand, or at least feel like everything is not going wrong, or they don't have to sacrifice themselves any more than they have to, but they do need to be worried about diving too hard or too headfast into this and experiencing everything, because there might well, I'm trying to think of words, because they might end up hurting themselves more and then falling back into this self-sacrifice and fuck the world vibes, honestly. And that so there is a need to be cautious in this attempt to step out and explore the world. Let's see what else we have. Strength, reversed Hangman, and the Sun. You know, we're getting a lot of major arcana, which is like a good thing. So let's see here. Strength, this whatever decision that they're going to make up until this point, even prior to the point where they leave, it took a lot of strength and endurance and patience and willpower to stay put in that situation and not try to attempt anything else before then. But here, they've rested a little too long. They've been put for a little too long. They've stayed in the situation just for a little too long. This is just saying that they need to get moving. They need to take that first step. But once they do take that first step, their world's going to change a little bit. It's going to be a lot happier. They're going to feel more alive, I guess you could say, because to be honest, self-sacrificing yourself, or not self-sacrificing, I don't know why I say that, sacrificing yourself and having that mentality of fuck the world, fuck everything, everything's horrible, everything's unfair, is not a good mindset to have. But let's keep pulling some cards to get more information. Here we have the Eight of Cups. That is the longing. So there was a longing that they wanted to be different, which, I think fits in kind of with what I'm seeing. The star being reversing a loss of hope, and them looking up at the moon and the stars, saying that, hey, I want something to be different. I want to do something different. I don't want to be here, is something good that we can start out with. Let's see here. And then we have death reversed. Let's see. Death is not a bad card. Death is not meaning they're dead or they're going to die. I mean, it could, but in this context, in this situation, I don't think that's what it means. But in this instance, it's referring to a change. It's referring to a moment that was like kind of, I guess, an aha moment, an instant change. Like you've thought through something, or you just had an epiphany and you decided to change pretty quickly. So there is that. So I do think that essentially in this character's backstory, or just up until the point that they meet their partying team, they were one in a bad place. They didn't fit in with their community. They sacrificed everything that was true about them to fit the ideals of their community. And they've developed that fuck you mentality. But with that sudden aha moment after the longing and loss of hope, they've decided to change. And it benefited them, honestly. Let's see what else we have. Queen of Swords. They were definitely in a dark place. This is just telling us that their emotions, their thoughts, their everything were getting the best of them. So I think if we create this character, we can play around with the fact that now that I think about it, just popped into my head that aha moment. I'm kind of getting Lae'zel from Baldur's Gate 3 almost. No, she was the devout Githyanki. She was headstrong, and she kind of, from what I've seen of her through my own playthrough, I haven't really focused on her going through the story. She sacrificed herself to this person because she believed that the cause was better. So that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this. But now that they've come to the realization that this new path is better, and they've actually put out on this path once they meet your wherever they're starting off in your story, that life will be better for them, and they will have good relationships with people, probably rocky relationships with people. They're probably still going to be kind of standoffish a little bit, war on the brain, fighting's probably going to be the big thing in their mind, the first thought that comes to their head to the situation. Let's Let's see. Yeah, no, I think we'll just stop there because everything else is not looking good in terms of cards or just getting way too convoluted, and I don't want to put you through that, nor do I want to put myself through that. So that's essentially what I'm getting for my character creation process. Next just comes writing the backstory, putting it all together, and all that kind of stuff. So if you would like to hear what I come up with, please let me know in the comments below, and I will make that my next video. If you use this and you create something based off of this, let me know how it went and what you came up with. Let me know what you came up with because I'd love to read them. I'd love to see new characters. And yeah, without further ado, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe if you want to stay updated when a video gets released. Awesome. Have a wonderful day. Bye.